Welcome dear children, welcome to another video session. In this video, we will do the summary of chapter 16, Light. Light is a form of energy which helps us to see things around us. In this chapter, we have discussed how we can see the objects around us with the help of light. We have discussed or classified objects based on the property by which whether they can emit light of their own or not. We have seen the laws of reflection in a plane mirror. Also, how images are formed or what are the characteristics of images formed by a plane mirror. We have also discussed about multiple image formation, making of a kaleidoscope. Next, we have discussed the power of or the mechanism of vision in human beings. And we have discussed two terms there, that is power of accommodation as well as persistence of vision. And in the last section of the chapter, we have discussed about the different kinds of aids used by visually impaired people. Yes, children, let us see the mind map of the chapter in detail. Let us see the mind map of the chapter. Chapter 16, Light. In the first section of the chapter, we have classified objects, whether they can emit light of their own or not. We have classified objects into luminous objects and non-luminous objects. Luminous objects are objects which can emit light of their own, whereas non-luminous objects, they cannot. Next, we have seen the phenomenon of reflection. Reflection is a process by which any waves, light or sound, it gets bounced back to the same medium itself when it is hit on a surface. And this property of reflection is used in plane mirrors. We all use plane mirrors in our day-to-day life to see ourselves or others. So, what helps this plane mirror or which property of this plane mirror help us to see images? It is the property of reflection. We have discussed the different laws of reflection. Like we have discussed about incident ray, reflected ray, the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection. So the laws of reflection says angle of incidence, that is the angle formed between the incident ray which is coming from the source of light or from any object. Angle formed between the incident ray and normal to the surface of the plane mirror will always be equal to angle of reflected ray. That is the angle between the reflected ray and the normal to the surface of the mirror. And the second law of reflection, it says the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal to the surface all lies in a common plane. Next, we will see some of the characteristics of images formed by plane mirror. So, images formed by plane mirror, they will be always virtual and upright. And images, the distance between the image and the mirror as well as the object and the mirror will be always equal in distance in a plane mirror. Also, we have seen the property or the phenomenon of lateral inversion in the case of plane mirrors. So, these are the four properties of images formed by plane mirror. They will be virtual, they will be upright, and the distance between the object and mirror as well as the image and the mirror will always be equal in distance. And the last one is that of lateral inversion. Next, we have discussed about the topic of multiple image formation. Multiple images are formed when mirrors are used in combination. For example, we have seen the making of kaleidoscope, where we will get different patterns using a combination of three mirrors. Next, we have discussed about the dispersion of light. The splitting of visible light into its constituent colors is called dispersion. We have seen the process of rainbow formation in detail during interactive classes. Next topic is about the mechanism of vision. How in human beings the eyes will work. We have seen eyes have a convex lens in it, which will adjust its focal length. We have discussed two terms here, the power of accommodation as well as the persistence of vision. And next and the last topic that we have discussed is about the visually impaired people and different aids used by visually impaired people. We have discussed mainly about three types of aids. They are optical aids and tactual aids as well as auditory aids. So that's the mind map of the chapter all about. Dear children, hope this video helped you to get the summary of chapter 16 Light. We'll see you all during interactive sessions. Thank you for watching.